Welcome to Raising Your Standards, Innovations in Accreditation Management with Armature Fabric, the podcast where we explore the exciting world of accreditation and how cutting-edge technology is revolutionizing the way organizations manage it. I'm Andrew Bryden, and I'll be your guide on this journey. Together, we'll dive deep into the challenges, solutions, and success stories that make accreditation management more efficient and effective than ever before. This podcast is brought to you by Armature, the creators of Armature Fabric, the game-changing accreditation management software trusted by accreditation leaders around the world. In each episode, I'll share insights from technology leaders and industry experts who are at the forefront of accreditation management to help you navigate this key area of your organization. So whether you're a seasoned accreditation professional or just starting your journey, get ready to discover new strategies, best practices, and the latest trends that will take your accreditation management to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Hi, in today's podcast, we're going to talk about best practices for a successful accreditation or certification software implementation. Let's dive right in. Accreditation and certification organizations are under increasing pressure to do a lot more with a lot less. Things like managing evolving standards, complex review processes, regulatory scrutiny, and rising stakeholder expectations for modern digital experiences. At the same time, they must maintain absolute rigor, defensibility, and transparency in all they do. A poorly executed system implementation can disrupt operations, it can frustrate stakeholders, and it can introduce compliance risk. But a well-planned one can dramatically improve efficiency, visibility, and trust across the entire ecosystem. So what separates a successful implementation from a painful one? Based on Armature's experience supporting accreditation and certification bodies for the last 25 years, I'll outline some of the best practices that we've seen reduce risk, accelerate adoption, and position organizations for long-term sustainability. The end result, more efficient, transparent, and future-ready accreditation or certification operation. Let's start with process alignment. Not technology. Before configuring any software product, validate and document the full accreditation and certification lifecycle. Successful implementations occur when digital capabilities and these operational processes are intentionally aligned, allowing organizations to modernize workflows while leveraging the strengths of the software. So think of application and eligibility reviews, assessment workflows, competency-based evidence development, your non-conformance process, deficiency and corrective actions, your commission review, decision-making and appeals management workflows, all the way through to renewal, monitoring, reaccreditation, and reporting. Too often, organizations attempt to replicate legacy systems, including workarounds built over years of operational complexity. Instead, implementation should be viewed as an opportunity to optimize and standardize processes. Digitizing these improved workflows rather than outdated ones ensures long-term sustainability and consistency. From Armature's perspective, the upfront business analysis phase is probably the most important part of the project. Aligning workflows with the strengths of the software product leads to the strongest outcomes. Second, configure first, customize only when necessary. Modern accreditation and certification software products offer robust configuration capabilities today. For example, configurable systems can support standards and competency framework management, assessment instruments, ratings and scorings models, training pathways and credentialing workflows, deficiency and corrective action tracking, committee and board decision support, and public directories for accredited or certified entities. Prioritizing this configuration over customizations can reduce cost, lower long-term technical risk, and protects upgradability of the software. Customizations, while sometimes necessary, can create maintenance challenges and increase dependency on specialized technical resources. When specific needs arise, consider whether integration with best-in-breed technologies is more sustainable than building complex custom functionality. A thoughtful architecture approach allows organizations to remain flexible without engineering the core platform. Third, implementation in phases to reduce risk. Large-scale system implementations can carry operational risk, especially in mission-critical environments like accreditation and certification. A phased rollout can reduce disruption, increase adoption. Instead of attempting to deploy every component all at once, consider stage releases that account for your business priorities, stakeholder training readiness, change management capacity, and your operational timelines. This structured approach can allow teams to learn, adjust, and optimize as they move forward, reducing surprises at go live and building confidence among staff and stakeholders. 4, embed training throughout the implementation. Training is really not a single event at go live. It should be embedded throughout the implementation lifecycle. Key stakeholder groups typically include staff and program managers, assessors, auditors, programs or organizations, certification boards and decision panels, and potential applicants. Training during configuration helps stakeholders understand not only how the system works, but how their roles fit with the redesigned workflows. A train-the-trainer model is especially effective, building internal expertise and reducing long-term reliance on vendor support. So when organizations treat training as a strategic investment rather than an afterthought, adoption improves significantly, and so does stakeholder confidence. Next, treat data migration as a strategic initiative. It's one of the most underestimated aspects of implementation and also one of the most critical. Accreditation decisions, certification records, non-compliance items, and continuing education data are foundational to compliance and defensibility, and these records must be carefully audited, cleansed, mapped, and validated. Data integrity directly impacts regulatory compliance, audit readiness, and stakeholder trust. Organizations should allocate appropriate time and resources to data preparation. This often includes identifying duplicate records, resolving inconsistencies, standardizing terminology, and confirming historical accuracy. A disciplined migration process ensures the new system begins with a clean and reliable foundation. Design around role-based user experience. Accreditation and certification ecosystems involve diverse user personas, each with their own unique needs. A role-based design ensures that staff see workflow dashboards and compliance alerts. Programs or organizations understand what they need to do and when. Assessors and reviewers access structured evaluation tools. Board members see decision-ready materials. Organizations and certificants track status and submissions, and public users can access verified directories. Clear visibility improves efficiency and engagement across the ecosystem. When users only see what is relevant to their role, complexity decreases and productivity increases. So this role-based design is not simply a user interface feature. It's a whole governance strategy that ensures accountability and transparency at every single stage of the accreditation or certification process. Next, plan for continuous improvement. Implementation is not the finish line, it is the foundation. Accreditation criteria evolve, certification requirements change, standards are updated, regulatory expectations shift. Technology advancements such as artificial intelligence can transform how you work. Your software must be able to adapt without requiring major redevelopment. Organizations should establish defined support models, regular upgrade cadence, ongoing configuration optimization, governance for policy and standards changes, and budget planning for long-term sustainability and continuous improvement. A forward-looking governance model really ensures that your software remains secure, future-ready, and aligned with evolving requirements. Taking all of these into account, the outcome is a modern, sustainable accreditation and certification software system. When these best practices are applied, accreditation and certification bodies can implement in a pragmatic and measured way while achieving meaningful operational transformation. The benefits are significant: improved operational efficiency, enhanced transparency and traceability, reduced administration burden, stronger stakeholder experience, and a secure, upgradable, future-ready platform. Thanks for listening. And that's a wrap for this episode of Raising Your Standards, Innovations in Accreditation Management with Armature Fabric. I hope you found today's insights valuable and that you're inspired to explore new ways to excel in accreditation management. Be sure to visit Armature at armaturecorp.com to learn more about Armature Fabric and how it can transform your accreditation process. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps me bring you the content you love. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you have questions, comments, or ideas for future episodes, reach out to me on social media or through our website. Thanks for joining me on this journey of innovation in accreditation management. Until next time, keep working to raise your standards.